Welcome, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for joining the Student World Talks. My name is Lean, and today I will be the host for this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for watching us and joining us today. I can see that there are so many of you already. So thank you so much for taking the time to come here. I'm really hoping and I'm sure that you're going to have amazing time with us and you're going to get a lot of information about studying abroad, about programs, and about the institution that we're going to have today. So the Student World Talk is actually the only talk show that is entirely focusing on everything related to studying abroad, whether it was finding universities across the world, finding new programs, or even finding a destination that suits you, that suits your personality, everything that you need to know, it is here in the Student World Talks. So more about this live show, this talk show, just so you can be aware of what's going to happen today, of how the episode's going to go. But before doing that, I'd just like to ask more about you, actually, just before introducing the live. I want to know more about where are you from and where are you joining us from, and whether this is the first time that you're joining us from, because this is actually not the first episode that we have. We had a lot of episodes before with many different institutions in Canada. So I would like to know if this is the first time, what is your name, and where are you joining us from? So so you can just post the answers here on the comments. I can see all of them. I'm really excited to know more just about you. So I can see Mariana. Hello from Mexico City. Hello, Mariana. Hello from Peru, Alberto. Hello. And then I can see also from Colombia, Charles. Hello, Charles. Thank you so much for joining. From India, Jill. Hello, Jill. Oh, there's a lot of you now, guys. Thank you for actually taking the time to comment. Mexico again, Brazil. Hello, Mary from Brazil. Hello from Argentina. And I wish I could read all of them. That's really nice, like knowing where are you from. It just feels more like connected. I don't feel like I'm alone here. I feel like I have other people with me watching us. So it feels good seeing all of you and all your comments. Hi, Amira from Egypt. Hi, Heel. All right, I'm just focusing so that I don't pronounce any of your names wrong, because that wouldn't be nice. Okay, so now that I know more about you and where are you joining us from, I'm just gonna say a little bit of details about today's episode. So in the Student World Talks, shortly, I'm going to introduce our lovely guests for today, who will be talking more about their institutions and telling us all about their programs that they have, about the admission process, how to apply, scholarship opportunities, which I know that many of you are waiting to hear about, and many more details. But not only that, I'm not only going to be the only one asking them questions. You also have the opportunity to ask questions, and we will be answering them during the live. So yeah, but enough about me, and let's dig into it already. So today we're gonna have an institution from Canada. It is located in the capital city, Ottawa, and it is ranked as Ottawa is ranked as the #1 best place to live for newcomers to Canada. So that's a good point. If you're new to Canada and you want to come here, Ottawa is ranked #1 for that. It is Carleton University. Carleton University has one of the most generous scholarship and bursary programs available in Canada, and it is ranked the 3rd for overall satisfaction among students, and it is ranked also in the top 10 for employability. And finally, it is known as Canada's Capital University. I know this all sounds really nice, and we will know more about it when we introduce the guests. But now let's watch a video to know more about Carleton University. That was beautiful. That's such a beautiful campus. And now, finally, we can introduce our guests for today. Hello, Emily. Hello, Rosabel. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing? How do you feel being here, communicating with the students?
We're great. Thank you so much for having us here. We're really excited to be able to talk to students from all over, and I think it's awesome to see everyone's comments about where they're from. It's amazing because clearly there's people here from all over the world. So yes, I'm Emily, and I'm really looking forward to talking to all of you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Same, honestly. It's so interesting seeing how many people are on this live, first of all, and then seeing so many people from different parts of the world. So I'm excited to show what Carleton is all about with Emily.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm sure the students are so excited as well. So, before we start to ask questions about Carleton University, why don't we get to know more about you personally? Maybe, Rosabel, if you can start by saying, what do you do for Carleton University?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Rosabelle. Currently, I work in the admissions office with Emily, but I just recently graduated from Carleton too in May. So I'm a recent grad. I studied environmental science. So if you have any questions about that, I'll be very, very excited to answer them.
Awesome. Thank you. Emily, would you like to introduce yourself and what do you do for Carleton University as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm an international admissions and recruitment officer here at Carleton, which means that I speak to students all over the world, and I share information about our university and about our programs, and I answer questions and I give presentations, which I love doing. And then I'm also one of the people who review the applications submitted by international students. So lots of information to know, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm also a somewhat recent graduate from Carleton. I graduated in the spring of 2018, and I studied criminology and criminal justice with a concentration in psychology. So, if any of you are interested in the social sciences or criminology or psychology, I am definitely happy to answer any questions about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the amazing introduction. So, guys, as you heard, both of them are amazing. They have lots of information and lots of things to say about the programs and about Carleton University. So, get your questions ready and we will be answering them very soon. But now, let's start by talking about who is Carleton University. Maybe we can start by talking about the unique qualities of Carleton University. Uh,
Sure. Yeah,
yeah.
I can start and then I'll pass it over to Rosabelle afterwards. But one of the things that make Carleton really unique is the fact that we are located in Ottawa, which is Canada's capital city. And when you think of a capital city, you might think of a really, really big city. However, Ottawa actually has a population of about 1 million people. So it's a relatively small capital city compared to other capital cities in the world. Um, we have a few different programs at Carleton that make us really unique and that make us stand out. One of them is our School of Journalism. So, because we're located in Ottawa, Canada's capital city, we have access to the federal government and other different sectors of the government. And so our journalists are able to learn and go out into the real world and conduct interviews and learn from politicians who are located in our city. We also have a very unique engineering program that makes us really stand out, and that is aerospace engineering. So I know we might talk about the programs in more detail a little bit later, but aerospace engineering is something that we're really well known for. There's only one other school in Ontario that has aerospace engineering, so it's one of our more competitive programs and something that we are quite well known for. Maybe I'll pass it over to Rosabelle. Rosabelle, maybe do you want to talk a little bit about the campus and like the physical sort of aspects of the campus?
Yeah, of course. So everyone had an opportunity to watch that amazing video, right? I mean, I go to Carleton, but I see everything from ground level. So it was kind of nice seeing everything from the top. We have several residences, which I'm sure Emily will touch on later, which are amazing. You get to share a room with a student. and you get to learn from that student as well. We have different buildings on campus. So for example, if you're in health sciences, we have a new health science building, which is amazing. We have the University Center, which is where I took most of my classes. University Center was basically like a hub for all the school's services. So we had the International Student Services Office in the University Center. We had the Student Experience Office, which I'm sure Emily also has had a chance to communicate with. They basically are the people that organize several events for students as well. I'm not sure what else you want me to talk about, Emily, in
I
terms
think
of,
that's perfect. Luckily
yeah,
they got to see that nice video. But yes, I think the fact that we're located in Canada's capital city is what really makes us unique.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for that. I was actually, my next question was going to be like more about the physical aspects of the campus and just to give the students idea about that. So Rosabelle, thank you so much for answering that. But maybe just to add on that, you can maybe tell us more about like the how does it feel to be there, like the class size, how many students are usually there, how big are the classes, and is it usually like busy, is it usually lively, just like describe the feeling of being there in the campus.
Yeah, absolutely. So our classes really range, the class sizes. When you're in first year, typically your class sizes are a little bit larger. So I remember when I was in first year, a lot of my courses were introductory courses, which meant that I had about 400 or 500 students in those classes. So you'd be sitting in a really big lecture hall. It would be kind of like you're in a theater and your professor would be up at the front. But then as you kind of, go on throughout your time at Carleton and your classes become smaller and more specific, you'll notice that you'll be in smaller classrooms. And sometimes the class sizes can be as few as 15 people, which makes for a more intimate setting. And it makes it easier to have discussions and to be able to interact with your professor, which I really liked. So students will find that there's a big range all the way from, 500 students down to 15 and anywhere in the middle. And then in terms of the campus, right now it's not as busy because of the pandemic. However, before COVID happened, I would say the campus was always sort of a happening place. One of the things that we really love about Carleton's campus is that it's a self-contained campus. And that means that everything that you need is right there on our campus. We're not spread out over a city or over a downtown. So really it only takes about maximum 10 to 15 minutes to walk from one end of the campus to the other. And because of this, because of sort of the self-contained aspect of our campus, it has a really strong community feel. You'll always see people that while you're walking about campus. Everyone is a friendly face. I would say it's a very comforting atmosphere to be in. And there's also some really beautiful borders to our campus. So we've got the Rideau River on one side and then the Rideau Canal on the other side. So oftentimes in the nice weather, you will see students, outside sitting and having lunch together and studying together and just enjoying the nice weather together. But maybe Rosabelle, if you want to talk about the sort of the community feel to it, because I think a lot of people really enjoy the community aspect of how Carleton's campus feels.
Yeah, of course. And I think, you already mentioned this, but I think one of the things, apologies. I think one of the things that really contributes to the community feeling that you get at Carleton is because of how connected the campus is. Emily already mentioned that it literally only takes like 10 to 15 minutes to go from one end of the campus to the other end. And that's something that I found is a little bit unique to Carleton because many other universities have, sprawled campuses where you probably have to take the transits to go to the next building, right? But because everything is so together, I think it almost washes off on us mentally. It also helps us, feel that, we do have a community and people are always so supportive. People are always so helpful. And I know I've benefited a lot from having a close-knit campus like Carleton.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for those details. And Just so you guys know, Carleton University is actually ranked as the number 18th best university in Canada. And I am sure now you understand why, after Emily and Rosabel told us all about the strong sense of community and the student support and the unique programs that they have. They have so many amazing and interesting things that they offer that we will get to know more about soon. So now the next topic that we can talk about is the career trends and what programs that Carleton offers that is in demand. So we know that Carleton offers programs that are like very trendy, they're in demand, and they're related to the real life problems such as gender studies, there's immigration, technology, and all those really interested in new programs. So can you perhaps give us a list of these programs that are very related to the real life problems and that students can find interesting?
Yes, absolutely. So at Carleton, we have 22 different undergraduate degree programs. And within those 22 degree programs, we have over 100 different majors that students can choose from. So you'll choose something. For example, if you choose to study computer science, that's your degree program. But then you can choose to go into something even more specific, such as artificial intelligence. So you're choosing sort of a broad area and then really focusing on something more specific that interests you. Um, One of our newer programs that is very relevant today is our health sciences program. And Rosabelle already mentioned we actually have a new health sciences building that students are able to use. There's labs, there is state-of-the-art facilities and technology. And oftentimes students will get to do work opportunities with different companies or businesses in Ottawa. And there's lots of different life sciences and health sciences research going on in Ottawa. Um, Another program that we have that is very popular is public affairs and policy management, as well as global and international studies. So, we are so connected with our entire world. And so students in these programs really have a chance to learn from each other. A lot of these students have an opportunity to get some sort of international experience, whether it be going abroad for a semester and doing an internship, or working with one of our embassies here in Ottawa. And then I already touched on journalism a little bit, but journalism is very relevant today, and we want our journalism students to be very well-rounded. So we have our students learning from all sorts of different experts and getting experience in things like print, radio, TV, broadcasting, social media. So whatever it is that you're studying, you're going to be able to get a lot of hands-on experience, and you'll be able to sort of, go out into the real world and get experience and network with individuals in that field. I wish I could touch on every program that we have because we have some really amazing ones, but those are some really relevant ones that lead to some great career opportunities post-graduation.
Great. Thank you so much, Emily. So also, I know that Carleton's programs, many of them are related to wellness, sustainability, and this really like many of our students on Instagram, they always ask about like environmental science, sustainability, and all those programs. They want to learn more about them. And I know, Rosabelle, that this is what you graduated from. So do you want to maybe tell us more about the program options that are related to this fields?
Yeah, of course. So, like you've both mentioned, Carleton has a lot of programs which really tackle issues that we're facing currently in the world. And environmental science is one of those programs that Carleton offers. I graduated with environmental science, that was my major, and my minor was in geography, physical geography. So, things that have to do with human interaction and how humans interacted with, the environment. And I found that doing that at Carleton really gave me the opportunity to get a lot of hands-on experience. I didn't get to do a co-op placement. I don't know if we haven't mentioned co-op yet, right, Emily?
No,
Co-op is
we'll
basically work experience. Yeah, and Emily's gonna mention that later. I didn't get to do work experience, but I still had a lot of hands-on experience from my professors. One thing you will find actually is that we have a lot of renowned professors at Carleton. So many of my professors were people who had published books, published lots of scientific papers, distinguished people in their fields, and it was amazing learning from those sorts of people. Um, as well, you'll get to, like Emily mentioned, concentrate in a more specific stream of the program. So, for example, in environmental science, you can take the program environmental science and then concentrate in chemistry or like earth science or physics. So there's lots of different there's lots of different opportunities in things that interest you.
That sounds great. Thank you for that. And so those are all, like, they all sound really amazing and interesting. But can we just know more about how are these programs beneficial for international students? Will that allow them to maybe enter the job market faster? Will it give them like more skills that they can benefit from in the real world when they go out and seek jobs? So maybe, yeah, can we like talk
Yeah.
about? Yeah, you can, Emily, start, and maybe later on, Rosabelle, you can jump in and add.
For sure. So, the really nice thing about our programs and about being in Ottawa is that, and Rosabelle mentioned that, students are learning from professors who are experts in their field. So you're going to be getting a lot of experience and you're going to be gaining skills that are very transferable, which means that you're going to be able to bring those skills out into the working world when you're looking for a job. And we might touch on this later, but I'll mention the work opportunities that our students get. So at the very beginning, I think Lean mentioned that we're in the top 10 in Canada for work opportunities. So most of our programs, especially the ones that we are talking about that are really relevant today, will give students a work experience or work opportunity if they want. So this means that, after your second year of university or second year of classes, you'll be able to go and get a job for a term, and a term is usually 4 months long. So you may go, if you're studying, let's say, computer science, or sorry, let's say you're studying accounting. One of the big four accounting firms that we have here in Ottawa is called Ernst & Young. And so you may choose to go do a work term at Ernst & Young for 4 months. And this really helps students to network with individuals in their field, to gain work experience and learn new skills, and also to see if they really enjoy working in that field. And the nice thing about this is that students actually have either 3 or 4 work terms that they'll need to complete. So if you've got 4 different work terms that you need to do, you can actually go and get work opportunities at different companies and maybe see which one you like the best. And oftentimes when students do a good job and when they learn a lot and they show interest, those companies will offer students full-time work for after they graduate. So it's a really, really useful stepping stone to sort of starting your career and getting your name out there and getting some really great experience. So we really like to focus on getting students ready and preparing them for future career opportunities. And you'll be able to get those opportunities right as a student when you're studying at Carleton.
Awesome. And just to be clear, so the work term is actually the co-op?
Yes, sorry. So we have a few different kinds of work experience. The main one at Carleton is called co-op, which is short for cooperative education. And this means that students will need to fulfill, depending on the program that they're in, they'll need to fulfill 3 or 4 work terms. And each work term is 4 months long. So rather than studying for a semester, you would actually be completing a work term. So it typically adds an extra year onto a student's degree, but it is so well worth it. And many students take advantage of it, and it's a great opportunity. We do have a few programs that don't offer co-op, but instead they offer what we call a placement or a practicum. And the difference between this is that a co-op is full-time paid work, but a placement or a practicum is usually just part-time, and students don't necessarily get paid, but they get a credit for it. So it kind of replaces taking a class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. We might come back to this topic just to hear more about the program options that they have, this co-op program option, and just to make it even, emphasize it more for the students, because it is really very interesting to know about. Rosabelle, would you like to add anything related to skills?
I honestly, I think I think Emily covered everything that has to do with like co-op and work opportunities and stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. So then we can move on to the next topic, which is the programs, and just get into more details about the programs that Carleton offers and the popular ones in specific. So first, let's start by talking about Carleton was actually ranked in the top 5 for being a comprehensive university in Canada. So can we start by saying what does it mean to be a comprehensive university, and why was Carleton ranked in the top 5 in Canada?
Yes, absolutely. So the fact that we are a comprehensive university means that we really like to focus on multiple angles when we're teaching students or when students are learning. So this means that, we're getting students in the classroom, listening to lectures, listening to their professors, but we are also getting students to learn by doing. So experiential learning is one way that we sort of add to the comprehensive aspect of Carleton. And experiential learning means that, going out and taking advantage of one of these work opportunities, doing different projects within the community. So I know that sometimes our journalism students, their assignment will include, going out and interviewing a politician or writing a story on an event that's taking place in Ottawa, such as a festival happening. I know that's usually a really hot topic that, students will tailor their assignments to, and they'll really focus on those when they're doing their projects. Another thing that makes us very comprehensive is our focus and commitment to research. So we have many well-known professors at our school who focus on some cutting edge research, and we want our students, we have master's students and PhD students, so postgraduate students who are also working on some really unique research. And typically at universities, or at many universities, students don't get the opportunity to do research until they reach their postgrad studies. However, at Carleton, we really want students to be able to do research and find their passion and find their interest starting right in first year. So we have many research opportunities. So if you're studying something like science, maybe you're focusing on biochemistry, then you might want to, get into the lab and really focus in on what it is interests you. We actually have we have a neuroscience student. Her name is also Emily. And she's in 4th year, and she's working with one of our professors on research that has to do with ketamine. So ketamine is a drug, and how it relates to treating mood disorders and depression and different psychiatric disorders. And so the fact that we are very committed to teaching and learning and, getting students involved in research is something that makes us very comprehensive. So we really like to include so many different aspects of learning and ways of learning to get our students a very well-rounded education and some really unique experiences. I know I just talked a lot about that, but maybe Rosabelle, I don't know if you did any research when you were in school, but or lab work, maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
I certainly did a lot of lab work right from first year. I think I had probably about 3 labs every semester, which sounds maybe like a lot, but honestly, not really. It was very fun, and it was also very good to have that hands-on experience. Like I mentioned before, in environmental science, I had so much hands-on, so much field experience. So I was definitely doing that from first year. And then when I was in my 4th year, I did a directed studies, which is also research. So yeah, it's great that we get that opportunity. One thing I will also mention is that, and Emily said this as well, a lot of other schools tend to make research just for master's students or PhD students, and that's when people typically get to publish papers. But I was able to publish a paper when I was in my 4th year with other classmates, and I think that's such a huge achievement because it kind of removed the nervousness I had about making, scientific research and publishing. So I'm glad that I'm a published author, technically, and Carleton gave me the opportunity to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for that. So I see a lot of questions asking us to dig into the programs, talk more about more details about those programs that Carleton offers. Okay, guys, so this is the moment now we're going to actually start talking about them more in details. So Emily and Rosabelle already... okay, so before we start talking about the programs, maybe we can address this question from Promise. They're asking, do you offer renewable energy programs?
Yes, we do. We offer an engineering program called Sustainable and Renewable Energy Engineering, or we call it SRE for short. This program is one of our newer engineering streams. And you can I can grab the link and maybe put it out to everyone so that you can get some more information on it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I didn't know if it was lagging on my end. Anyways, I will put the link into the chat in just a moment. But yes, Sustainable and Renewable Energy Engineering is the name of the program. And we actually have a really cool little building on our campus, Rosabelle. I'm sure you've seen it. It's kind of far out by the road. And this is I think it's called an energy greenhouse or something along those lines. And that is specifically for those students who are studying in that program. And really the focus of that program is on sustainable energy and renewable energy and how we can create sort of a healthier and more environmentally friendly engineering systems. So we have different engineering events as well. If you go to our website, which is admissions.carleton.ca, there's an events page. And the Faculty of Engineering actually hosts many different events that will talk about the different streams of engineering. So you can go into detail and actually talk to students who are in that program as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Emily. So guys, keep your questions coming. So now we're going to actually answer those questions about the program. So ask whatever you want and we will be answering them. So the next question is from Daniel. So it says, I'd love to do my master's in production engineering. Do you offer any production engineering at Carleton?
So we don't offer production engineering at the undergraduate level, and I don't believe we offer it at the master's level as well. But so Rosabelle and I handle undergraduate degree programs, but we have a graduate studies department. So Daniel, if you want to reach out to graduate studies, their email is graduate.studies@carleton.ca. They will be able to give you information about our engineering programs, and if we don't have exactly what you're looking for, they can maybe help you find something similar or point you to another school that has exactly what you're looking for.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. So the next question that we have is from, there's many of them. All right. So the next question is from Yasmin. So it says, I'd love to do a master's scholarship in human rights law or international law.
That's awesome. Human rights and social justice and, international relations and international law are some programs that we are very strong for and something that we're really well known for, especially being located in Ottawa, the capital city of Canada. But I know that, like I said, we do undergraduate. So definitely, if you want more information on those master's programs, which I know we do have, then definitely reach out to our graduate studies department. And again, that's graduate.studies@carleton.ca. Because yes, we are very well known for programs related to law and human rights and social justice, as well as international relations.
Awesome. All right. So the next question is from Jill. Carleton has cybersecurity courses. Oh, yeah. So does the Carleton have any cybersecurity courses?
Yes, we do. So we have a computer science degree, and within computer science, we have quite a few different majors, and cybersecurity is one of them. So if you choose to do computer science, then you can focus in on cybersecurity and take courses on that. Starting your first year is general, but starting in second year, you can really start to focus in on that cybersecurity aspect. And there's also network security as well.
Perfect. So the next question is about the business administration from Maria.
Yes. So we have, I hope you don't mind it, Rosabelle, if I just keep.
Oh, no, of course.
Yeah. So we have a Bachelor of Commerce. Commerce is just another word for business. And within our Bachelor of Commerce, we have a few different concentrations that you can choose from. We have accounting, finance, entrepreneurship, management, supply chain management, information systems, and there's even a concentration for international business. We also have, so that's our first business degree is the Bachelor of Commerce. We also have a Bachelor of International Business, which has some other areas of focus that you can choose from. The big difference between commerce and international business is that international business has an international component. So students are actually required to study abroad for a year and to learn a new language. And so, for example, my colleague Carly, she studied Spanish for her first 2 years at Carleton, and then she went to Spain and did a year abroad in Spain. So those are the two. That's the difference between commerce and international business. You're studying business in both degrees, but one of them has a strong international piece to it.
Awesome. So the next question is from Akil. How is Technology Innovation Management program at Carleton?
I know it's very strong. I used to get a lot of questions about, we call it the TIM program for short. And I know that it's very strong. I also know that the graduate studies department will be able to give much more detail on that program. But yes, technology innovation management is one of our newer-ish programs and is something that is really growing at our school. So students have the ability to use our state-of-the-art labs and equipment and technology, which makes us, a very unique place to do the program at. But yes, for more information, I would recommend reaching out to Graduate Studies.
Awesome. Thank you. So the last question before we move on to the next topic, it's not the last question, but just for now, guys, but keep them coming. We're gonna answer more of your questions. So this is from Ishu. Any information about animation programs would be helpful.
Yeah. So we have the closest thing we have to sort of an animation program would be our Bachelor of Information Technology. Within our Bachelor of Information Technology, we have a few different streams that you can choose from. One of them is called Interactive Multimedia and Design. So that would probably be the closest thing to animation. We do also have a degree called Industrial Design. And industrial design is really looking at the design and development of anything. So products, packaging, furniture, anything that you can hold in your hands or touch. But it also does focus on a graphic design component as well. So we've had graduates from the industrial design program go on to be graphic designers for really big companies such as Baskin-Robbins. I don't know if you know the ice cream company, FedEx as well. And Shopify, which is a really, really big e-commerce platform that is kind of taking over the world right now. So if you're interested in, animation or graphic design or something like that, industrial design or interactive multimedia and design might be two programs that would interest you.
Awesome. Thank you. So many of the students are also very interested in knowing more about the admission process, about how to apply, what are the requirements. So before I ask you questions about that, let's actually watch a video that tells us a lot of details about the admission process and the application process.
Hello, international students. My name is Emily, and I'm here to tell you about the important things that you need to know for applying to Carleton University. Our applications for September 2022 are now open, and you can apply one of two ways. If you're applying to more than one university in Ontario, then the Ontario Universities Application Centre, or OUAC, is a great way to apply. It's a common application for any university across our province. However, if you are applying just to Carleton, then you can apply directly through Carleton 360. You will be asked to upload your documents. So this includes your transcripts and your English language test score. So as soon as you're able to get those documents in, we recommend that you submit them. Now, most of our programs have an application deadline of April 1st, 2022. However, we do have some programs that have supplementary applications or portfolio requirements, and those are typically due a little bit earlier, such as March 1st, 2022. You can find a list of those programs and more information about that on our website. If you are applying to one of those programs with a supplementary application, just make sure to submit your application to us, and then we'll email you with additional information. We do our admission on a rolling basis, which means that as soon as we have all of the information we need from you, we'll be able to start processing your application. It usually takes a few weeks to process an application and to make a decision. Now, if you have any questions throughout this process, please reach out to us because we would be happy to help you. Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Awesome. That was a great video, guys. I hope you found that useful. It said everything about the deadlines, the information, the website as well. So I hope you took notes and, memorized everything that Emily was telling us in the video. So now there's just a question about the programs. So we know that Carleton has something called combined honors. Can you just maybe tell us more about this and explain it to the students?
Yes. So a combined honors degree means that you are studying two different things. So for example, I studied criminology. So I studied, one honors degree. However, there are some people who have two interests or two passions and they really want to study both of them. So maybe you're really interested in history, as well as geography. You can do a combined honors degree, which means that you are combining both of them. It means that you have less electives, and electives are basically free courses where you can take whatever you want. Each degree has mandatory courses, which are courses you have to take, and then elective courses, which are courses that you could just take from any area that you want. A combined honors would just mean that you have less electives, but when you graduate, you're going to have two different subjects on your degree. For example, geography and history. So if you're really, really passionate about two different things, you can actually tailor your degree so that it shows that you have studied both of those things.
Awesome. Thank you. So now let's move on to the employment topic and working in Canada and all of that. So does Carleton offer any employment services for international students? So perhaps, Rosabelle, you can tell us when you were a student, were there any services that you went to in Carleton that helps you find jobs and maybe organize your resume and all of that?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, I had two jobs at different times during my degree. The first one was at a grocery store, and then the second one was actually at Carleton, but I was working for the student association. And one place that really, really helped me just organize my resume and, apply and learn how to appear during interviews was the career office, the career services office. Emily's nodding because she knows about it. Which is a great resource for students. They basically, like I've already mentioned, help students with everything that has to do with a career. So even if it's not, editing your resume, if it's something like, oh, I'm really not sure what my career options are after I graduate, that's a great office to go to. I know I certainly was a little confused about what I could use my degree to do, but just going there, booking an appointment with them and having a conversation really does help explain a lot of things. So I know that's one service I really used a lot.
Awesome. Just to make it clear for the students, can you maybe answer the question if international students, can they work in Canada while studying?
Yeah, I was an international student, and I certainly was working. There are some restrictions, so I know that for most international students, you can only work for a maximum of 20 hours a week, which is part-time employment. Just just to keep just so that immigration knows that you're actually studying. We're not immigration officers, so we can't really go into detail. But yes, definitely you can work as an international student. I should mention that you can also technically work full-time when school is not in session. So if it's the summer and you're not going for classes, then you can work more than 20 hours a week. But when you're going for classes and school's in session, then you have to work only a maximum of 20.
That sounds amazing. I'm sure that would be really helpful for the students. Yeah, Emily, do you have anything?
Yeah, I was going to add something. Rosabelle talked about career services, which is a really, really helpful office that I really encourage students take advantage of their services. The really nice thing about Carleton is that we have a work study program, which means that we have so many different jobs on campus. And for students who are living in on campus or residents, this is a really, really great opportunity because then you're kind of already living very close to where you can work. And career services helps students to find opportunities on campus. So we've got like a job postings board, interview prep, workshops, all of that. And I know Rosabelle touched on it, so I won't go into more detail, but taking advantage of work opportunities on campus is a really great opportunity that we have for students. And the International Student Services Office is also a really great resource for students to learn about their study permit and work permit and kind of figure out all of that as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys for that. So before we move on to the scholarship and the admission processes just in more details, can we maybe just briefly talk about how is it like living in Ottawa, the capital city in Canada, and what would you say is the cost of living there per month and like the style of living there?
I'll let Rosabelle go first because Rosabelle was an international student, so you can maybe talk about, moving there for the first time. So why don't you go ahead?
Okay, of course. I don't know about other people, but I certainly really enjoy Ottawa because it's like I was saying a little earlier before the event started. Ottawa matches my personality. I've been to places like Toronto, which is very, very, hustly and bustly. I know that's not a real word, but there's a lot of hustle and bustle in Toronto. And then I've been to quieter places like Hamilton, and I find that Ottawa is a very, very nice mixture of both. And so you don't, well, personally for me, I never felt overwhelmed when I was walking on the streets. I felt pretty safe. I still feel safe because I still live in Ottawa. Yeah. What else?
I can
I think Emily has some things to say about recreation as well because she likes like nature and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Rosabelle kind of touched on it. It depends on your personality, but Ottawa is a really, really nice city to live in. And I think especially if you're coming to Canada for the first time, there's a reason that it's ranked as the number one city to live in if you're coming to Canada for the first time. And that's because it's a very multicultural and diverse city. So there's always lots going on. There's different festivals going on no matter what time of year it is. You can do activities no matter the season. So we have 4 very distinct seasons in Ottawa. I know that a lot of people think of Canada as just, snow and ice and it's very cold, but that's actually not the case. We do have a winter, and in the winter, we have lots of different activities that you can do do. We have something called Winterlude every year, and that's kind of like a festival that's a few weeks long. You'll see ice sculptures and snow sculptures throughout the city. People will go cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. People will skate on the canal, which is a big waterway that freezes over, and it's actually the world's largest outdoor skating rink in the winter. But in the spring and the summer, these things are, you can also do lots of things outside, like biking and hiking, and canoeing and kayaking and going boating on the different lakes that we have and on the canal that we have. There's lots of different ice cream places. There's lots of festivals that happen. In the spring, there's something called the Tulip Festival. So there's tons of beautiful flowers out. So if you are a person who likes to get out and do things, then Ottawa is a really, really great city for you, because there's always something to do and there's many different places to explore. And it's a wonderful and relaxed city to live in.
That sounds fun. Thanks for that. So we have a question here from Turbulent. Is IELTS a must? If yes, what's the minimum score?
So we do, not necessarily IELTS is a must, but an English language requirement. We have an English language requirement. So for students who have been studying in full-time English curriculum for a minimum of 3 years, that will fulfill the English requirement. But if you have not been studying in English a minimum of 3 years full-time, then you will need to submit an English language proficiency test score. IELTS is one of the tests that we accept, but there are also a few other tests such as CALE. What are the, sorry, Rosabelle, I'm blanking on.
TOEFL,
Yeah,
Pearson.
TOEFL. Yeah.
Duolingo is one that we also accept now.
Yeah. So there's a few different tests that we accept. The information is on our website, which is admissions.carleton.ca/ESL. And the score depends on the test that you're taking. For example, if you are submitting an IELTS score, you need to have a minimum of 6.5 in order to be eligible for one of our programs. and you'll need a minimum of 6.0 in each band. So the score that we accept will depend on the test that you're taking, but there's a whole chart on our website that tells you exactly what you need depending on which test you take.
Cool. So what would you say is the average tuition fee at Carleton? I know that it might differ from one program to another, but what's like the just general overall tuition fee range?
So the fees range for international students. The fees range between I believe it's 29,000 Canadian dollars per year and 43,000 Canadian dollars per year. The more expensive programs include our engineering program, business, information technology. And then the ones that are kind of on the lower end would be anything within the Bachelor of Arts, maybe the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Journalism. And we recognize that these fees are a lot, right? This is a very expensive investment that you're making, which is why we have a very generous scholarship program. Lean, do you want me to talk about the scholarships now, or did you have sort of a question coming up about those?
That was actually my next question. Like, what
Okay.
are the scholarship opportunities for international students?
Perfect. So any international student coming from Carleton from high school, so meaning that you have not had any other post-secondary studies, will be eligible or will be assessed for one of our automatic entrance scholarships. So this means that when you apply to Carleton, you don't need to submit another application for a scholarship because we're already going to assess you to see if you're eligible for one of our entrance scholarships. Now, you'll need to have a minimum average of 80%, 80% in Canadian terms, and we can convert your average to see if that meets our requirements. But 80% or higher means that you will be receiving a scholarship. And the higher your grades are, the more money we'll be able to give you. So our scholarships range from 4,000 Canadian dollars to 16,000 Canadian dollars. They are renewable and regainable. So this means, let's say you come to Carleton with a 90% average, you are going to receive our $12,000 scholarship. This scholarship is going to be given to you at four different times. So it's going to be broken up. So you'll be given $3,000 in your first year, $3,000 in your second year, and so on. In order to be eligible to get that money every single year, you will need to maintain a GPA of 10 at Carleton. It's on a 12.0 scale. But as long as you're able to do that, then we'll be able to give you your scholarship again every single year. We do also have prestige scholarships. These ones do require an application. They're worth more than the entrance scholarships. They are quite competitive. But if you are a student who's very high achieving and have done a lot of, extracurricular activities, or, you have leadership experience, we do encourage you to apply for one of our prestige scholarships because these ones are worth more money and will be able to cover more of your tuition costs.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Emily. That was really good information about scholarships, and I'm sure students find that useful. So, guys, we still have a few minutes left for the live, so please feel free to take this time to keep asking your questions. I see a question here about the programs from Sorry, I'm not even gonna try. I don't wanna say it wrong. But is mechatronics or robotics offered at Carleton?
Yep. Yes, we do offer mechatronics. We don't offer a robotics program, but we do have robotics classes that students can take, and we do have mechatronics. So if you're studying something like mechanical engineering, you can take these courses, and mechatronics is one of the sort of areas that you can focus on. So yes, we do have them. They are reserved for students who are studying something in that field, like engineering. So if you decide to study, music, then you might not be able to get into some of those courses. But if you're studying something like engineering, then you will be able to get into some of those courses and learn in that stream. So yes, we do have it, and there's more information about them on our website.
Awesome, thank you. So Mohammed is asking, do you offer masters in English literature?
That is a good question. I I want to say yes, but I don't know the answer 100%, and I don't want to give you the wrong answer. So I'm going to ask Mohammed that you email us at graduate.studies@carleton.ca. This is the graduate department, the graduate studies department. They are really knowledgeable on all of our master's programs and PhD programs. So they will be able to give you some more information and insight as to that program, if we offer it, and if so, what it's all about.
Awesome. So Charles is also asking if you offer any master's degree on molecular biology or proteomics.
Yes, we do. I'm not sure the second word there. I'm not sure if we offer a program in that, but I do know that we offer graduate studies in molecular biology because I know someone who is about to graduate from it. So yes, we do offer those programs, and if you want more information, I definitely invite you to contact graduate studies, and they'll be able to help you out. They host lots of events throughout the year, virtual events. So you may even be able to learn from current students or professors who are in that program.
Awesome. So Crystal is asking, how do I apply for a scholarship? I am from high school.
Awesome. So great question, Crystal. If you apply to Carleton, you will be automatically assessed for one of our entrance scholarships. So there's no application required, for those scholarships. But if you are a high achieving student, we typically look for students with an average of 90% or higher. Then you are welcome to apply for one of our prestige scholarships. And you can do that directly on our website. So you can go to admissions.carleton.ca. There's going to be a spot where you can learn about scholarships and awards. And on the scholarships and awards page, there's going to be an application for the Prestige Scholarship. The deadline to apply for this is March 1st, 2022. So just make sure that you get your application in by then.
Awesome. So the last question that we can take for today is from Zainab. She's asking, sorry, I just lost the question.
I can see it. On the screen. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, I think I got the wrong one. If you see Zainab's question, you can ask it, and then maybe we can address this question that is on screen.
Okay, no, I can't see Zainab's question, but I can see one about agricultural programs.
Sure. Yeah, you can answer that one.
Okay. We do not have any agricultural programs. I know that the University of Guelph, which is located in Ontario, does offer agricultural programs, but Carleton unfortunately does not.
Awesome. So sorry, Zainab, I just saw your question now. Any psychology masters?
Yes. We actually have a very strong psychology department. So we offer psychology at the undergraduate level as well as the graduate level. So we have master's students in psychology, and you can actually choose, if you're studying psychology, you can actually choose if you want to go more the arts route. So you're looking at like the behavior side of things, or if you want to go more down the science road, which is where you'd be looking more at like the brain and, incorporating some neuroscience into that. But yes, psychology masters, we definitely have.
Awesome. So, guys, you all have amazing questions, but we're going to actually post their contact information now and their email so that you can address those questions through their email. So it is on screen. You can contact them on international@carleton.ca. So thank you so much for your questions. And that's it. That was it for today, Emily and Rosabel. Thank you so much for your answers. I'm sure that was very helpful for the students. And would you like to say any final words for the students? Maybe give them advice on studying abroad?
Yeah, maybe Rosabel, since you were an international student, would you like to give a piece of advice?
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice I can give to any other international student is to ask questions. You're going to have a lot of questions. It's normal. Even people that are not international have questions too, right? So the best thing you can do for yourself is actually ask them. I know it might seem a little intimidating just, going up to someone to ask a question, but honestly, like Emily mentioned, everyone is super friendly and willing to help. So ask your questions, because the more you ask, the more you know.
Yes. I just want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. It's been so cool watching people's comments roll in and seeing where you're from. And please reach out to us. Our email is right there on the screen. We are happy to answer any questions that you have and to help guide you along the admissions process. And I just want to say thank you to Lean for having us here. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you and answering your questions.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. And we really hope to have you here again soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, guys, that was it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that your answers your questions were answered. If not, you can still reach out to them on email. And also, don't forget to check out our Instagram, The Student World. We always post there all kind of content, Instagram stories, Instagram, a lot of really fun information about studying abroad and interesting information there. So please join us there, follow us, and comment there on our Instagram page if you're coming from the live. It would be interesting to see that. And something else, guys, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the live is that please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to our channel. If you like what we're offering you, if you don't, you can still dislike. You can press the dislike button, but please be sure to tell us why and give us feedback to why you don't like this live, and we will take this feedback and hopefully improve this live session. So other than that, I really want to thank you again for joining, and I hope to see you again in the future episodes. Thank you. Bye.